Fashion show invites, if they're not functional or have a utility, they kind of just end up in the trash. I like collected by hand all of my invitations for this fashion show throughout the streets of New York City. And you just put a sticker on there and you just put that in the mail and that becomes the invite. There's just so much out there. Why do we have to kind of always make new stuff? I grew up watching all these movies of New York City. So that was like my whole, I was like, I need to make it to New York somehow. College was kind of like that ticket. Some of the first fashion shows or first fashion events that I was going to, just this kind of no-name college student, networking. Oh, you're going? Can I go with you? Oh, you're walking in? Can I go with you? All of a sudden, you just start kind of learning the ropes and seeing how things are done. So I kind of want to kind of bring a little bit of that back to kind of the experience of my fashion show, which is like the super just raw space. I know how elitist fashion can be. That's just not me. That's not what I identify with. The occasion is no occasion but life itself. Some things just kind of naturally just happen. I don't read like books or magazines for like inspiration. I read people, I read personal style, I read codes, and then I just start to kind of unpack what I'm observing. Maybe something just kind of popped out on a walk home one day. So you'll like see chainmail, which kind of reminds me of like fences all around New York City. Could we ever wear barbed wire? Not really, but I figured out a way to have barbed wire in the collection, right? It's like breaking the rules a little bit. What are the rules? There are none. You rewrite them. Sometimes it's just like, oh, that just looks cool. Let's just put it on there. Alien, that looks cool. Chain stitch alien. All right, put it on. Or just like handbags. We haven't really styled a handbag, but like, why not put one of the furry carabiner handbags down the runway? You know, I was like walking my dog in Central Park and I saw this old dude walking his dog and he had blue gloves. So blue gloves ended up in the collection all of a sudden. Like that's just kind of naturally how a bit of, building up the show kind of happens. Oh, here it is. This is like one of my favorite memes that just always pops up on Instagram every year for like the past like 10 years or something. Like, I just gotta make this. This is instant, like we know this, right? I have this idea of instant language. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier. It's like when you see it, you instantly get it. Like boom, a little hit of orange, right, on the runner. That's all you need. Maybe a couple seasons ago, everything probably would have been orange. Everything would have been orange. And it's hard, I was like, man, it's hard to wear orange when it's just like everywhere. And like, I started to kind of really focus on like, all right, we don't need much. Just a little spot there. That's HP. Just a cut of orange, right? That's HP to me. It's like this high and this low. The bigger I get, the more I want to kind of remain human and like normal. As big as the brand gets, as more successful or whatever, as the image appears to be, oh, it's this big brand, I'm like, no, there's this human side to it as well. That's just kind of how I have fun. It's just like approaching from a bit of a different angle. I look at clothes as like shiny tools to really develop and take us into new kind of spaces. And I think that's kind of what we're building here. It's kind of recovering what already exists, what we've already made, and kind of giving that a kind of second chance at life. I'm just always watching what's happening, and so that gets included in kind of the stories that I'm telling.